Picsába, mi ez? Írjátok ki a fattyút!
Hogy megjelent.
I didn't know that being able to help Theresa actually. I saw other people write about that. I was like, oh shit. Because they got to the point with the conversation later, after this running, and it was like, you know what? Theresa got raped? Didn't even see that. Alright, well, we'll do something about it. Back. Yeah. You know. I think I made a right there. Or down straight. Over here.
Left. Talmberg is to the left, along the stream. Run for it!
Running pretty good.
Flee!
Wow. I've tried this before. I was not able to keep them that far behind me, and I don't think my horse's stamina lasted nearly as long.
Run for it!
Trying to throw me.
Run for it!
Oh, now they're hot on my ass.
They'll kill you all!
Stamina doesn't look that low. Keep going. There we go.
Oh my God! Wait!
Jesus Christ!
Érje már ki valaki!
Help! Skeleton been attacked! Do something! Help!
Quickly, everyone! Get your asses here!
Hey! And loose!
Hagyjuk! Húzzunk innen!
Quickly! We're closing the gate!
And crash.
Someone give him a drink. And bring hot wine and bandages.
Hot wine's the best thing for healing. Best way to clean a wound. Now seriously, you think they have
Tell me, boy.
vodka
Who
or
are you?
schnapps?
And where are you from? What in hell's
Something.
name happened?
I don't know.
I've come from
Much more
Skalitz.
common in Czechia,
They burned it to the ground.
Bohemia.
Slaughtered everyone.
Who? Who burned it to the
A
ground?
huge army. They attacked without warning. And they weren't Czechs or Germans either.
Who then?
I don't know. I've never seen armor like it or heard their language. Maybe Tatars?
Tartars, you say? Well, we'll deal with that later. First, let's have a look at that leg of yours. Grit your teeth, boy. I'm gonna pull that hair out.
Fade to black.
Easy. All done. You were lucky, lad. The arrow missed the bone. They only needed bandaging, and I've done that often enough before. War is a good teacher. Can you stand? There you go. As good as new.
Thank you.
If you idlers nothing better to do, get back to work. You'll have to speak to Lord Divish. Can you manage?
Oh, I've got my camera hidden right now, don't I? I'll fix that in a sec. After the cutscene.
Sir, this is a survivor from...
I heard, Robard. Tell me, boy, what exactly happened? Did you see the ensigns of the attackers? And were there any more survivors?
So, I don't know what army it was, but it was huge. There were dozens of banners flying on the hill above Skalitz. The ones who did the slaughtering spoke a strange language. They burned Skalitz to the ground, but a lot of people took refuge in the castle. I wasn't quick enough. As I fled, they shouted from the battlements that I should come and warn you.
The soldiers the boy didn't recognize. They could be those Cumans of Sigismund's. It said they came to Hungary from the east, and now they're the core of his army. Sacking Gutenberg must have given him a taste for stolen silver.
Skalitz is a small castle, sir. If Sigismund attacks, they can't hold.
Indeed, Sir Robard. And our small garrison would be no help, even if we could risk sending them.
You think we're next in line?
Maybe. What's your name, boy?
I'm Henry, son of the Skalitz blacksmith.
I know him. Did he make it inside the castle? I'm sorry. It's in God's hands now. No one else can help us. Anyway, thank you for risking your neck to warn us. Robard, take care of Henry. Make sure he gets something to eat and some rest.
Yes, sir.
And get all the people inside the gates. We have to prepare for the worst. Make all the necessary arrangements.
As you command, sir.
Says I discovered all these things before the load screen even completes. I haven't discovered crap. Dry lips.
You've done well, lad. I'm sorry for your loss. You must be all done in. Why don't you go to the kitchen and have a good meal? Sorrow is easier to bear on a full stomach. I heard about your father. They say he was a swordsmith who moved to the countryside to make horses. But I'm sure he had his reasons. He had a fine reputation. It's a great loss.
Ah, milady. You're fortunate our good lady Stephanie of Talmberg has graced us with her presence.
My lady, I'm honored.
So this is our brave young man. Welcome, lad. Bojena here will take care of you. No doubt you're tired and hungry.
Indeed. How could he not be, poor soul? After everything he's been through, he must be as hungry as a bear. Aren't you, young master? Here you are, then. Eat your fill.
And a little wine to wash it down.
Thank you, my lady.
When you're done, you can go and rest with the grooms in the outer bailey.
No, that won't do, Sir Robard. After all he's been through, he deserves a proper bed. Let him sleep in a lodge in the courtyard.
Certainly, milady. Young Henry here is overwhelmed by your generosity.
Yes, yes, thank you, my lady. May God reward you for your kindness.
Eat up now. You're in capable hands, so I'll leave you to it. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, man.
When you've done, you can sleep in the bedchamber of the courtyard lodge. And don't forget to take off those filthy boots before getting into bed.
Wow, I'm starved. Yeah. Severely. Oh, I need to move up. Still hungry. Sure brought all the food that was available on the table in the house.
Please tell me what happened in Skalitz. I have kin there.
It seemed like any other day. And then I saw thick smoke rising above the hamlet of Rovna. Soon Sigismund's army were finished there and came for us. The order to attack must have come even before the alarm bell rang.
God preserve us.
We all ran towards the castle for shelter, but they were too fast for us. They slaughtered everyone they caught and torched their houses. I barely escaped, and they murdered my parents.
God bless you, boy. I'm terribly sorry for your loss.
Oh, God damn it, my stomach hurts.
Fill me up. lodge house. Have a sword cooked while I'm sleeping. $10, damn. Well, he seems to be a late sleeper anyway.
Today the patrols will be doubled. Keep your eyes peeled. If you see anything out of the ordinary, report it immediately. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
It is I, Henry. Forgive the intrusion. I didn't wake you, boy, did I?
My lady, no, not at all. But what brings you here at this hour?
I thought you could do with a little wine. It's just what you need to help you sleep.
My lady, thank you. You really shouldn't. You could have sent a servant.
I was going to. But to tell you the truth, I couldn't sleep either. I thought of you while saying my prayers. How awful it must have been for you. I came to offer you solace. To let you know you're not alone.
Thank you. Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. Now, Henry, I know this is all very new and strange for you. But I want you to feel at home here. You're not to worry about anything except getting better. God knows you've been through a terrible ordeal. I know what it is to be left alone in the world. Although your loss is much greater. But with God's help, the pain will ease in time. And it can help to talk about it, if you feel like it.
My Henry's a talker. Let's see what options I get. Yeah.
You might be right, my lady. I'll tell you what happened. It was terrible and unexpected. The day started just like any other. Father sent me into town on some errands. A fellow by the name of Kunnish owed money to Father, who sent me to collect it from him. Only Kunnish had no intention of paying. It got a bit heated, as often happens when there's money involved, but Kunnish still wouldn't cough up the coin. Father was too generous for his own good, letting even a scoundrel like that buy on credit.
Oh.
When I'd done all the errands, I headed back home. I promised Father I'd help him with his work, and I was looking forward to it. He was forging a sword for Sir Radzig.
That was vitality based, right?
Father and I always chat in the forge. On that particular day, I asked him if he'd teach me swordsmanship. He said no. He said it's better for a man to keep his head on his shoulders than lose it over some pointless heroism. If only you'd known what fate had in store for us.
Oh.
But Sigismund's horde was already on the horizon, ready to attack the town. A horde of soldiers was amassed. Pennants flapped in the wind, the armour glinted in the sunlight, and the horses whinnied impatiently. They were waiting for Sigismund to give the command to attack.
How awful.
And then death descended on Skalitz. I looked towards the tavern and saw a group of Cumans chasing down my Bianca, murdering her for sport. There was nothing I could do to help her.
You mustn't blame yourself. She's with the Lord now.
I ran to the castle like our neighbours to take cover, but I didn't make it. I had to find another way to save myself. The men on the battlements called down to me to flee to Talmberg and warn you. I was lucky I knew a concealed path around the castle. I wasn't safe yet. The Cumans were going from house to house below the castle, looting and then torching them. They encircled the castle, and it was clear they could spot me at any moment.
May God punish them.
Then I heard a scream. It was Theresa, the mill wench. She'd been caught by a gang of Cuman savages who planned to violate her. I had Sir Radzig's sword, and even though there were several of them and they were better armed, I had to try and save her. I wanted there to be at least one person I'd helped. And I succeeded, even though it almost cost me my life. After that, I stole a horse from them and rode off.
Like a valiant knight.
I'll never forget the horror. It will haunt me for the rest of my life.
That's terrible. How could something like that happen?
God alone knows why he lets such things happen.
You poor boy. I understand your grief, but God is not to blame for the ills of this world. That is the work of Satan and those who do his bidding. Those who are corrupted by greed, envy, and pride. You must not lose faith, whatever life brings. Fate has not been merciful to me, and my husband either. Although in comparison to the horrors he went through. I was young when I married my husband. It was my father's wish. Divish was a lot older than I, but a woman must bear her lot. Shortly after our marriage, before I even got a look at Talmberg, the castle was stormed and my husband was imprisoned.
Really?
My husband had some quarrel with Sir Havel Medek of Valdek, who decided to resolve it by force. He stormed the castle, burned down the village of Pribyslavitz, and killed many of our men, even the old chamberlain. He imprisoned my husband in the castle and put his own garrison there.
That's awful.
I was barely 18 years old, and all of a sudden, I was left alone with Sir Robert. We didn't know what to do. We went to Prague to appeal to the king and sought help from Divish's friends, but all to no avail. We tried for years, but it seemed I was destined to be left alone and my husband to rot in jail in his own castle.
Years, you say?
7 years. That's how long it took before Havel was condemned as an enemy of the crown. And even then he refused to surrender the castle and release my husband. In the end, I raised the money to pay a ransom, and only then, by the grace of Lord Jesus, did I finally lay eyes on my husband once more.
7 years. And was Harville punished for it?
Never. And after 7 years, my husband returned to me an infirm old man.
Sir Divish seems like a good, strong man.
Certainly, only he has many concerns. He had to rebuild Talmberg. After he was released, the king appointed him Burgrave of Prague Castle, and he was very busy. He had no time for me at all. But at least we were in the city, and there was something going on. And now, we're here.
There's something going on. There's
My
an
lady,
enemy army
you're still young.
next town over.
Beautiful. Your best years are still ahead of you.
Would that that were true, lad. Would it were true. But what am I doing bothering you with this? You have troubles enough of your own. I'll go and let you sleep. I enjoyed our little talk, Henry. Good night, and God bless.
Good night, my lady.
Move in, people! Come on! Come on! We're running out of time! Quickly! We have to close the gates! We can't go back!
Henry, help us!
Help us, son.
I don't remember it that way. It's not productive.
Henry, wake up. You don't want to miss this.
What is it? What's happening?
Come to the battlements. One of our patrols reported a company heading here from Skalitz.
Okay, it's been half an hour. Good place to take a break.